Okay, good evening, everyone. This will begin the pre-meeting for the February 24th, 2022 Zoning Board of Appeals hearing for the City of Rochester. During the pre-meeting, board members go over cases, ask any questions of staff, any clarification questions. During the pre-meeting, there is no participation by members of the public or by applicants. Following the pre-meeting, the hearing will begin at 6 p.m. And then the deliberations will happen immediately following all of the cases. So all of the cases will be heard during the hearing, and then the deliberations will happen following that. A few housekeeping notes tonight. Case number 1, case number 2, and case number 10 have been removed from the agenda at the request of the applicant. There is no one from the public signed up to speak for those cases. So once again, case 1, case 2, and case 10. So we'll begin with case 3 for both the pre-meeting and the hearing. Before we go over the cases, I want to run through and check for site visits. So what I'll do is I'll call the case out, and if you could unmute yourself and let me know if you did not have the opportunity to visit the site. If you did have the opportunity to visit the site, I will, you don't need to say anything. So starting with case number 3, 150 Highland Avenue, are there any board members present that did not visit the site?
I did not, Matt.
David? Who said that? David?
Tyrese.
Tyrese?
Me neither. Cora.
Case number 4, 98 Croydon Road. Are there any board members present that did not visit the site?
I did not visit 4.
Case number 5, 1662 St. Paul Street. Any board members present not visit the site? Case number 6, 304 306 South Goodman Street. Any board members present not visit the site? Case number 7 is 460 Buffalo Road. Any board members present not visit the site? Case number 8, 2611 Mount Read Boulevard. Any board members present not visit the site? And last case for tonight, which is case 9, 1840 Lyell Avenue. Any board members present not visit the site? Okay. Thank you. All right, with that, we will get started with going over each of the cases, starting with case 3, 150 Highland Avenue. This is an existing nursing home, an assisted living facility on the corner of Highland and South Avenue, looking to install a memory care garden with some accessory seating, shed, etc., along the Highland Avenue frontage. Any questions on this case?
I have one. Was this presented before?
That's what was my question too.
Oh, was it? Yeah, didn't we look at this one before?
You've looked at this property before, not for this proposed use. This particular property is in what's called an institutional plan development district, which is a kind of a former zoning district that doesn't exist in the 2003 code. So you see this a lot when they want to come and do things, but this particular use that's being proposed, no, this has not been before you before.
Oh, wonder what it was, Cora, because it's.
They had done a
Gazebo
on
or
the parking lot side where the entrance is. They had done.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Oh, okay.
Any other questions on case number 3? Case number 4 is 98 Croydon Road. This is a single-family dwelling with a expansion of the driveway, which has created a parking area directly in front of the structure and steps. And the city code states that parking areas need to be in the rear yard. Are there any questions on this property? Okay. Case
How
number.
did this one, Matt? Sorry, I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
This one came through. Oh, so it came through somehow in code enforcement. That's what.
Yeah, I think it started as a complaint, so it is in code enforcement. So they're here to legalize. Case number 5, 1662 St. Paul Street. This is an existing gas station. They are looking to do some rebranding in accordance with the staff report. Any questions on this case? Kind of similar to ones you've seen in the past.
Did anyone see the sign for this one? I didn't see it.
Me neither.
I didn't either.
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see the sign for quite a few of them.
Everyone picked up their signs, so definitely ask that during the hearing. Okay, case number 6. I'm going to spend a moment chatting about this one. This is a bit of a unique case. I think it's going to be best to have your questions be asked on the record during the hearing, but I'm going to tell you what the gist of what is happening here is. This applicant made a building permit application to demolish the structure and install/expand a parking area, combine it with a neighboring property for parking for a neighboring property. This is before you tonight because the applicant is appealing the determination that it's a designated building of historic value, that it needs site plan review, and that it needs a variance for the lot coverage. So to be clear, this is an appeal of the determination of the manager of zoning. It is not an application to demolish the structure and install the parking lot. So what that means to you all is the appeal of the denial, you're either upholding the manager of zoning's determination that her determination for those 3 factors was correct in accordance with the code, or overturning that determination that her interpretation for one of those 3 things was not in accordance with the code. Now, also, if you uphold the decision of the manager of zoning, the applicant does have a form of relief to do what they're trying to do, which is in the form of a variance to demolish, a variance for lot coverage, that sort of thing. So this is not an application for the physical work that's being proposed. It's an appeal of that determination. Whenever someone comes in to do any work for the city, when they come into the permit office, what they're making an application to do is they're making an application for a certificate of zoning compliance. So the first thing that staff have to do is administer the code as it's written, approve or deny. And so what's happening here is they're appealing that determination.
Just a little bit to add to that is that when this matter comes up, the applicant will present their case, and then Roseanne Khalil will actually appear as well, and she will. You already have in your staff report the I think it's about a 5-page document that she prepared describing how she reached her decision. So she'll give you a little bit more information about that, and then you can ask her questions as if she, as you would any applicant or other party. So that's how we'll do it. First, the applicant will.
27,504.
Whoops.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that just so you know, this is a little different. We're normally our manager of zoning doesn't come and give testimony at the hearings, but because her decision to deny the certificate of zoning compliance was appealed, she's going to testify, and you can ask her questions. Okay.
Mhm.
So I have 2 questions. The first one is the addendum to the appeal application that is labeled like 1 through 13. That's from the homeowners, right? Not doesn't have an, I'm unclear who the writer of that is.
Are you talking about something that came in the staff report packet or came
Yeah,
separate?
it's in the packet.
Okay, so when you look through the application, there's, the staff report and then the property information stuff from the city's website.
Right, so
And there's analysis by manager of zoning.
right,
Those
Okay.
exhibits that follow are part of her analysis.
right.
Then there is, and bear with me, I'm flipping through here. Then there is a letter dated January 19th, 2022 to City of Rochester Zoning Board of Appeals. That is the intro letter beginning with the applicant's information.
Okay, so then the addendum that comes 2 pages after that is from the applicants.
That is correct, yes, following the application that says of administrative appeals and referrals. So it's almost like there's an introductory letter as to who the applicants are, and then all of their
And
supporting documentation disputing the managers.
Okay, so then my other question is that if we, so our vote is to uphold or deny the zoning manager's decision. So if we decided not to agree with her, this property would still have to come to us for the variances?
It depends
Or-
on what you uphold or what you
Okay.
overturn.
Okay.
If you, so I think the best way it'll have to happen is after you hear everything, the questions to be asked would be then, would it still need to come to us if we overturn part 1 or overturn part 2 or overturn part 3? Because those are all good questions and all play out in some way. So after you've heard the testimony, I think that's a good discussion.
But I can confirm, so if you decide that her decision about whether this is a designated building of historic value, if you decide that under the code that she was incorrect and you reverse her decision, then actually they would not need to come for a variance because they only need to come to you to demolish, for a variance to demolish DBHV.
That's just for the DB.
That's that, but they still would need area variances for the lot coverage unless you also decide that that is incorrect. So I'm sorry, this is kind of complicated and you're going to have to do it bit by bit.
Yeah, no, that was helpful though. That
Yeah.
sort of helps me going into understanding the testimony. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else on case 6?
And obviously, is there public testimony for this? People calling in for this one?
There is at least one person signed up for this one.
Okay, I got all the written. I just wanted to know. if
There is one. There's oral testimony being provided for case 4, Croydon Road, and case 6, South Goodman Street.
Okay.
Case 7, actually case 7, case 8, and case 9 are all signs. So beginning with case 7, this is a rather large industrial complex located on Buffalo Road. You have also seen this property before in the form of a wind turbine, if you remember, on the roof. That is the reason this address may look familiar. This particular application is regarding a sign for a tenant, I guess sort of toward the rear of the property. There's a location map in the staff report. Any questions on this one? Okay. Case number 8, as I said, also a sign. This is 2611 Mount Read Boulevard. Frontage is actually on West Ridge Road, which you probably all discovered from the map and site visits, immediately bordering the town of Greece. The applicant, I should say the user of the property has sort of a complex of parcels which span the town of Greece and the city of Rochester. This particular application is for the parcel which is on the corner of West Outer Drive and West Ridge Road for a sign. Are there any questions on this one? All right, and the last case is 1840 Lyell Avenue. This case is also a sign. It's an existing 20-foot tall pole sign. And I do need to make one change on the code compliance section. The applicant emailed me and notified that the sign is actually 50 square feet, 50, not 60. Again, so the code compliance section is 50, where 32 square feet per side is permitted, and then the height of the sign. So are there any questions on this application? Okay, and before we wrap up the pre-meeting, I do want to make note for anyone listening, There was additional public comment for the following cases. I will read them off. The public comment has been posted on the city's website for any public inspection. It has also been provided to both the applicants as well as the board members for their review and consideration. Properties include 98 Croydon Road, 1662 St. Paul Street. Again, this is all written. 304, 306 South Goodman Street, 2611 Mount Read Boulevard, and 715 West Main Street, which was it's not being heard tonight, but there was public feedback that'll be part of the record when it does come, when and if it does come back. Are there any remaining questions or outstanding items from anybody? Johanna, can I ask one favor of you? I forgot to mention this when we were reviewing case 4. There was a comment about the case law cited in the actual application and what the board's purview is relative to case law. You're on mute.
It's not your job to make decisions based on case law. And as you know, you are going to be listening to testimony. You've visited the site. You will have an opportunity to ask questions, and then you apply all that information that you've received to the standard to determine whether the standards have been met. And I'm not going to ask you to decide whether that case law is applicable or not. And in fact, I will tell you, I have not read those cases, but this is many of the cases that were cited, I did glance at them. They're talking about, well, here's a case where a court decided that this was not a substantial variance. Well, that was different facts, and that really doesn't apply to the facts you've got. So don't worry about the case law. I'll take care of that. If there's an appeal, you just do what your normal job is, which is to listen to testimony, make a decision based on the facts that you have before you and applying the standards.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right. So this will conclude the pre-meeting for the February 24th, 2022 Zoning Board of Appeals pre-meeting. Everyone that's on the call, applicants, members of the public, board members,